Good morning, America. The search for answers in a deadly midair collision, an American hostage set to be released, and the concert for Southern California. Urgent investigation. The NTSB recovering the black boxes from the American Airlines plane after the deadly midair collision with a military helicopter, killing 67 people. This morning, one of the members of the NTSB joined us with the latest on the investigation.
What we're learning about the victims of the deadliest U.S. aviation disaster in decades, from the father and flight attendant, a civil rights attorney, to the 14 members of the figure skating community lost.
I just wanted to be here to be able to be part of, if I could do anything for somebody, that I just wanted to be there to do it.
We spoke to Olympian Nancy Kerrigan about sharing the pain of the tight-knit community.
Breaking this morning, the first American-Israeli hostage set to be released. The emotional moment his wife found out he was coming home. What we're learning this morning.
Heated confirmation hearings. 3 of President Trump's most controversial nominees face tough questions. The latest from Capitol Hill.
Dwayne Wade's health scare. The NBA Hall of Famer revealing he had nearly half of his kidney removed. We hear from him this morning.
With egg prices skyrocketing, we're on the hunt for the best savings, where GMA found a dozen for under $4.
Overnight, music's biggest stars shining bright for Southern California.
We love you, Los Angeles, and we got your back no matter what.
Raising millions for wildfire recovery. With performances from Lady Gaga, Stevie Wonder, Sting, and more, coming together to help the victims of the fires.
Live in Times Square, this is Good Morning America.
It is great to see them coming together to take care of Southern California. We hope you all are doing well on this Friday morning.
Truly, George. And coming up, we have details on the first new non-opioid pain medication approved by the FDA in decades. It's big news for families, especially dealing with addiction right now.
Some exciting news there, but we begin with the urgent search for answers in the midair disaster that took 67 lives. The airplane's black boxes have been recovered, and investigators are beginning to piece together what happened. We're going to talk to a member of the NTSB just ahead, but first, our transportation correspondent, Gio Benitez, is in Washington with the latest. Good morning, Gio.
Hey, Michael, good morning. Yeah, this is a fast-moving investigation. There are new questions this morning about air traffic control. One person doing the job of 2. And, of course, that Black Hawk helicopter. Why was it apparently flying at 350 feet instead of under 200, as it's supposed to? This morning, the urgent investigation into what led to the country's deadliest aviation disaster in decades. The black boxes from the American Airlines plane, seen here, transported in the same water they were pulled from to preserve the integrity of the recordings, now in the hands of the NTSB for evaluation.
We do have information, we have data, we have substantial amounts of information. We need to verify information.
The U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter collided with an American Airlines regional jet, killing 67 people, no survivors. An early focus for the investigation, the flight path of the helicopter. Preliminary data showing it was flying at about 350 feet when it should have been under 200.
As far as altitude, until we get the additional information, we can't validate or basically corroborate any of that until we get more of the electronic data.
One expert says early indications show a tragic sequence of events, suggesting the helicopter pilots were looking at the wrong plane.
When you're required to maintain visual separation, once you acknowledge or ask for visual separation, then the controller kind of relaxes a little bit because he thinks, well, that aircraft sees the other one.
And now this morning, a source with direct knowledge confirming reports that the air traffic controller on duty was performing the job normally done by 2 controllers. This is usually done when there's less air traffic. But Wednesday night, that change from 2 controllers to 1 was made 40 minutes earlier than usual because of lighter traffic.
Did you see that?
Just after 8:45 p.m. Wednesday, American Airlines Flight 5342 flying towards runway 33 with just 2,400 feet left to go. That Black Hawk approaching from the other side of the Potomac River when the two ultimately collided, then crashing into the river. Now the tragic recovery operation. About 40 bodies have been pulled from the wreckage. Satellite images showing the operation from above. Debris sprawled across the water.
As part of any investigation, we look at the human, the machine, and the environment. So we will look at all the humans that were involved in this accident. We will look at the environment in which they were operating in. That is standard in any part of our investigation.
Just over 24 hours before Wednesday's crash, a different regional jet did what's called a go-around maneuver when landing at Reagan Airport due to a Black Hawk helicopter in the same area. Safety concerns have been increasing in the airspace around Reagan Airport. The airport was designed to accommodate 15 million passengers each year, but now sees more than 25 million a year. Congress voted just last year to add more flights. And a reminder here, these investigations are incredibly complicated. In almost every case, the NTSB ends up finding information that we just didn't know before, and it is highly likely that this is one of those, George.
Okay, thank you, Gio. We're now joined by a member of the NTSB, Todd Inman. Mr. Inman, thank you for joining us this morning. Did you learn anything new overnight?
Well, we've had a pretty good development in regard to recovery of not only the voice recorder, but the data recorder. Both of them have been pulled from the CRJ 700 and are currently in our lab. So we're starting the process of not only opening those up, but to begin the extraction of the data, which is a good start to being able to put together one of the very many pieces of this puzzle.
That's just the beginning. You haven't determined anything from those black boxes yet?
No. It will take several days. The data recorder itself has thousands of data points, and they all have to be synchronized against a lot of other things that happened in the plane. The voice recorders actually have to be what's called auditioned among a number of people so that there's complete agreement of how the transcript will come out. And we also look for ancillary noises, maybe a boom or a thud or a crack or something in the cockpit. So those things are going on concurrently, along with the fact we have several hundred people in the field looking at every other aspect of this investigation.
From what you've been able to determine so far, was the air traffic control system at Reagan National overstretched?
We don't have any determination on that at this point. We've got a team that's been stood up of a number of professionals that represent not only the unions, the air traffic controllers, along with the individuals that handle the technology in the cab itself. So all of that will be a lot of the data points that will come together into our final report. And
any determination of whether the helicopter was flying too high? There have been some reports of that it was at 400 feet instead of 200 feet.
There's some separation that's normally happening within what we call these highways on the sky, and that has to do with not only altitude but also speed. But you have to remember there's also the ability for controllers to say give some direction to move in and out of that highway, if you may say. That'll be one aspect that we'll look at in addition to the airplane, which was originally on approach to runway 1, then was asked to change to runway 33, which is a normal procedure, but when and how that happens, it all paints into, again, all of those data points that come out in the final investigation.
How long do you expect this investigation to take?
As long as it takes. We will be on scene here doing all the recovery of the perishable evidence that we need for as long as it takes. Now, the preliminary report we believe will be out in 30 days, but in the cases of these major investigations, it will take a year, if not more, for us to come to a final probable cause. But the most important thing is, the work doesn't just end then. We make recommendations so that we don't have tragedies like this again in the future.
President Trump has already reached a conclusion. He said it was DEI policies that led to this disaster. Do you agree with that?
I think there's been a lot of people that have given different opinions on this, and we take all of that information in. What we look to are the experts in each one of their individual fields in these working groups, and collectively the board comes out with a probable cause. And again, we just don't want these tragedies to occur, so we make recommendations. And sometimes it takes 5-10 years, but we haven't stopped. We've got a great reputation, and we're going to continue to do that.
So you can't make any conclusions right now?
The only conclusion I know is that last night we met with several hundred family members who lost their loved ones in the Potomac. We don't need that to happen anymore. We're going to work, we're going to continue, we're going to find out what happened, and we're going to try to stop it from happening again.
Mr. Inman, thank you for your time this morning.
Thank you, George.
Michael?
All right, thank you, George. And we are learning more about the victims on board the plane and helicopter. Whit Johnson is in Washington, D.C. with the latest for us. Good morning, Whit.
Michael, good morning to you. There is an overwhelming sense of grief as this tragedy has touched so many different communities. At least 2 of the victims were as young as 12 years old, some dying alongside their parents. And we've been speaking with loved ones who are determined to keep their memories alive. This morning, we're beginning to see the faces and hear the stories of the 67 lives lost in that fiery crash over the Potomac. Flight 5342's first officer, Samuel Lilly, was just 29 years old and newly engaged. Tiffany Gibson telling ABC News her little brother was a kind soul.
He was young, he was so young, and he was excited about life and his future and getting a dog and a house and kids, and this is just tragic.
Ian Epstein, one of 2 flight attendants on board, was a father and husband. His family saying in a statement he loved being a flight attendant because he truly enjoyed traveling and meeting new people, but his true love was his family. Elizabeth Keyes being remembered as a strong, fearless woman who embraced life at full speed. She was killed on her 33rd birthday, returning home early from a business trip so she could go on a date with her longtime partner, David. Kia Duggins, a civil rights attorney, set to become a professor at Howard University Law School in the fall. Howard saying that Duggins dedicated her career to fighting against unconstitutional policing and unjust money bail practices. And U.S. figure skating mourning the loss of at least 14 athletes, coaches, and family members who were returning from a training camp. 12-year-old Brielle Byer, a cancer survivor, was with her mother, Justina. Andy Byer telling me his daughter Brielle could light up any room.
She was just such a fighter in everything she did, and she just lived life to the fullest with everything. She was so proud of herself in figure skating, and I will miss that so much.
Spencer Lane, killed along with his mom Christine, was a 16-year-old figure skating phenom. His father Doug says he was unstoppable.
Was a force of nature. He just had amazing athletic abilities and just was someone who you couldn't make him do something, but if he was like, hey, that's interesting to me, you couldn't stop him.
Married Boston Skating Club coaches and former world champions Zhenya Shishkova and Vadim Nomov seen here competing in 1996. Friends calling their deaths a tremendous loss for the skating community.
Just one of a kind. They cared about their athletes and were world champions themselves, and they were just champions in life.
Now, removing victims from the wreckage is an incredibly delicate process. Sources tell us they have ceased diving operations for now until they can lift entire parts of the fuselage to the surface of the river. George.
Okay, well, thanks very much. It's been our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Mary, as we saw the NTSB not ready to make conclusions about how this happened, yesterday President Trump did.
He certainly did, George. And look, as investigators are racing to determine what caused this tragedy, the president is making these unsubstantiated claims, blaming his predecessor's diversity, equity, and inclusion policies, using this moment to underscore his own agenda. This morning, with the investigation just beginning, President Trump is claiming without any evidence that Democrats' diversity programs are to blame for the tragedy.
We are going to have the most competent people in the country in our control towers, not people that are there for any other reason.
Are Karen Travers pressing him?
Mr. President, to be clear, are you saying race or gender played a role in this tragedy?
It may have. I don't know. Incompetence might have played a role. We'll let you know that. But we want the most competent people. We don't care what race they are.
In the briefing room, the president accusing his predecessors of hiring air traffic controllers based on diversity goals, not qualifications. I asked the president, where's his proof? Are you saying this crash was somehow caused and the result of diversity hiring? And what evidence have you seen to support these claims?
It just could have been. We have a high standard. We've had a much higher standard than anybody else. And there are things where you have to go by brain power, you have to go by psychological quality.
But Trump also acknowledged he doesn't know if the air traffic controllers made any mistakes.
It's all under investigation.
I understand that. That's why I'm trying to figure out how you can come to the conclusion right now that diversity had something to do with this crash.
Because I have common sense.
Former President Biden's Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg responding, despicable, saying as families grieve, Trump should be leading, not lying. We put safety first. Democratic lawmakers say Trump owes the public an apology.
It's one thing for internet pundits to spew off conspiracy theories. It's another for the President of the United States to throw out idle speculation as bodies are still being recovered and families still being notified. It just turns your stomach.
And the president is also facing questions about his plans to slash the federal workforce. The FAA has been struggling for years with a shortage of air traffic controllers. Of course, Donald Trump has offered federal workers this buyout. And the union that represents air traffic controllers tells us, quote, they are concerned about the potential effect to public safety if FAA were to lose experienced aviation safety personnel. Rebecca.
All right, Mary, thank you. We turn now to the latest on the hostage exchange in Israel and the American expected to be released in the next round as we learn more about the group of hostages released overnight. Our foreign correspondent Britt Clennett is in Tel Aviv with the latest. Good morning, Britt.
Good morning, Rebecca. Keith Siegel will become the first American-Israeli hostage to be freed after 15 months in captivity. The 65-year-old is among 3 hostages listed by Hamas for tomorrow's hostage-prisoner exchange, along with Ofer Calderon and Yarden Bibas. Now, Siegel was kidnapped from kibbutz Kfar Ezar with his wife, Aviva. She was released in the first temporary ceasefire back in November 2023. Tomorrow, she can finally expect her husband to come home. Keith's daughter sharing this emotional video as they learned the news. Aviva saying, I can't believe it. Dad is on the list. Another American, Sagi Dekel-Chen, is also among the 33 hostages set to be released in phase 1 of this deal, but no word exactly on when he'll be released. President Trump's Middle East envoy, Steve Witkoff, he told me they are doing everything they can to get the Americans home, and they're confident the ceasefire will hold. Guys.
Yeah, we hope that is true. Britt, thank you so much for that. And coming up, we spoke with an emotional Nancy Kerrigan on the deadly mid-air plane crash's impact on the tight-knit skating community.
Also, Eva has the details on basketball great Dwayne Wade's health battle. Hey, Eva.
Hey, Dwayne Wade had been putting off going to the doctor to address his stomach pain, but inspired by his father's health battle, he finally went. This morning, he's urging others to do the same, Rebecca.
A very important message there, Eva. Plus, Sean Diddy Combs has been hit with a new indictment, the new allegations against the music mogul.
Coming up, as we count down to the Super Bowl, the second grade class in Philly learning math with the help of Eagle stats. We'll be right back. Welcome back to GMA. That is the great Stevie Wonder and Sting on stage performing Higher Ground at FireAid last night. The benefit concert helped raise millions for the victims of the devastating wildfires in Southern California. We're going to have much more on that ahead.
That is a great combination right there. First, new at 7:30, a new court decision on guns in America. A federal court has ruled that banning handgun sales to people between 18 and 20 years old is unconstitutional, striking down a federal gun ban that dates back to 1968. The conservative Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals said it violates the Second Amendment and is inconsistent with the nation's historical tradition. Issue is likely to be headed to the Supreme Court. Also, the FDA has approved a non-opioid treatment for acute pain. It's an oral drug called Journavx, and it costs about $15 per pill. We'll have more details with Dr. Narula ahead.
Important conversation there. A Minnesota bargain hunter dropped $50 for a painting at a garage sale, and it turns out it was the deal of a lifetime. The piece was a previously unknown Van Gogh self-portrait. Wow. It's worth $50 million.
Wow.
And I can confirm, sadly, it was not my mother-in-law at that garage sale in Minnesota. And this morning, it is, wow. Big wow. And this morning, we are remembering singer and actress Marianne Faithfull. The British artist was best known for the song As Tears Go By and also had several film and TV roles. Marianne was 78 years old, and she will be remembered.
Yes, she will be. And thank you for that, Rebecca. We're going to turn now to the deadly midair tragedy and the devastating impact it's had on the figure skating community after 14 skaters, coaches, and family members were among those killed. Ariel Resif is here with more. Good morning, Ariel.
Good morning to you guys. The depth of this loss for the skating community is really just hard to grasp. The skating community is like a tight-knit family, and it is now in mourning. Young skaters who trained in Delaware, Maryland, Boston were on that plane, all heading home with their coaches and parents from a development camp for rising stars of the sport.
This morning, the skating world reeling in loss. 6 members of the Skating Club of Boston in Norwood, Massachusetts, killed on the ill-fated American Airlines flight.
And then when you find out, you know some of the people on the plane, is even a bigger blow.
The club, a home away from home for Olympians like Nancy Kerrigan, who gathered at the rink to remember the young athletes and coaches.
If I could do anything for somebody, that I just wanted to be there to do it.
All of the skaters and coaches had been in Wichita at a development camp that took place immediately following the U.S. National Championships. 16-year-old Spencer Lane posted this last TikTok performing a flawless triple toe loop at camp.
He started to discover this connection with the audience and that joy that he was giving to other people through his gift. And he said, "Please let me skate again with you next year."
The skating phenom also sharing this haunting picture from inside the plane, bound for D.C. just before takeoff. His dad, Douglas, speaking with WCVB about the pain of losing both his son and his wife.
I just happened to open like a news browser and saw a small plane in the Potomac, and I was just like, oh my God, and my heart just started like exploding out of my chest.
Spencer's teammates remembering his raw talent.
He was a little fireball. He was a little firecracker. That's the best way to put it.
The club also paying tribute to 13-year-old Gina Han, seen here competing just last month.
Gina was a very energetic child. Whenever you met her in the morning, say hi, and you just see this smiling girl.
Han's mother, Jin, also on the plane, along with her coaches, Jenya Shishkova and Vadim Namov, former world champions. The skating community hoping the lessons they've learned on the ice will help give them the strength to face the future.
Even when it's hard, you get back up. Even when you're crying, hurt, pain, you get back up and move forward. It's not easy, but that's what we all have to do now together.
That is truly the lesson that skaters learn from a very young age. Deep grief is felt through the entire world of skating and the community far beyond that. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee echoing, there are truly no words to capture the depth of our sorrow. A moment of silence was held at the European Figure Skating Championships to remember those lost. I've been texting my figure skating coach who was in Wichita with many of these skaters when, right before this happened. And once a skater, always a skater. It is such a tight-knit community.
This community is so
It's
solid.
rock solid, and so they'll lean on each other and get back up from the ice like we always were taught to do.
Thank you, Ariel. Appreciate you covering this for us. Of course. We're going to turn now to the Sean Diddy Combs case. Federal prosecutors filing a new indictment with allegations of abuse that they now say lasted for 2 decades. Senior investigative correspondent Aaron Katersky is here with the details. Good morning, Aaron.
Good morning, Rebecca. Federal prosecutors pledged from the start their investigation into Sean Combs is ongoing, and now they say they've uncovered criminal conduct that does indeed span 2 decades. This morning, federal prosecutors are expanding their sex trafficking case against Sean Diddy Combs, saying the music mogul abused, threatened, and coerced women over a longer period of time than first alleged, 20 years, from 2004 until his arrest last year in New York. The new indictment says Combs assaulted not only women, but also his employees, witnesses to his abuse, and others.
It was a circus. He did whatever he wanted, and we were just at his disposal.
For 2 years, Phil Pines was Combs' senior executive assistant and is suing him for sexual battery and harassment, which Combs has denied. Alleged violence was vividly captured in this 2016 video obtained by CNN showing Combs kicking and dragging his then-girlfriend Cassie Ventura at a Los Angeles hotel. The new indictment says Combs paid hotel staff $100,000 for the footage. And prosecutors now say Combs coerced 2 additional victims into sex acts. The ones that also recruited male prostitutes were called freak-offs. Others involved only Combs and a female victim. Like the freak-offs, the new indictment says these sex acts sometimes lasted multiple days, were sometimes electronically recorded, and often involved a variety of drugs meant to keep the victim obedient and compliant. Combs has pleaded not guilty. His lawyer said he is as committed as ever to fighting these charges and winning at trial. Guys, that trial's scheduled for May.
Latest on NBA Hall of Famer Dwayne Wade. He revealed his battle with cancer, including a 2023 surgery to remove 40% of his kidney. Eva Pilgrim here with the details. Good morning, Eva.
Good morning, George. Dwayne Wade appeared to be the picture of health when he got this surprising diagnosis. This morning, he's encouraging others to stay on top of their health.
This morning, NBA legend Dwayne Wade revealing a terrifying health scare.
Well, what I had on my kidney was a cyst, a tumor.
The Hall of Famer sharing on his podcast that doctors removed nearly half of his right kidney in 2023.
Thank God that I did do the surgery, right? Because the tumor was cancerous. And they took 40% of my kidney to make sure that they can get all the cancer off of it.
Wade posting to Instagram, "It's my story, a reminder to face your fears, prioritize your health, and get checked." There were over 430,000 new cases of kidney cancer worldwide. Black men among the most diagnosed in the U.S.
Generally seen in older individuals, so people 60 to 70 and older when it's found, but it can be found at any age, and especially different types of kidney cancers can be diagnosed at younger and older ages.
The basketball superstar saying he went to the doctor after having stomach issues, cramps, and trouble going to the bathroom. Wade saying he was inspired to get checked by his father, who battled prostate cancer.
I went in to get myself checked out, and I went in and I was like, "Doc, I want to know everything about my body, head to toe."
The 13-time All-Star and father of 5 who is married to actress Gabrielle Union says the health scare helped show him the true meaning of family.
I found strength in my family, in my friends, in my group.
And Wade says for him, surgery was the right decision. He didn't give too many more details about his current health, but we, of course, are wishing him the very best. And it's a good reminder for everyone. Go to the doctor.
Pay attention to those symptoms.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Eva.
Yeah, we're glad he shared that. Thank you, Eva. With the Grammys just days away, a benefit concert was held overnight to help the victims of the Southern California wildfires. Lara is here. And I gotta say, Lara, there were some big names performing last night.
Incredible. So many incredible musicians volunteered their time and talent. This fundraising show spilled over into 2 arenas, raising $60 million in ticket sales in the days leading up to it. FireAid was both uplifting and emotional.
To say I love you right out loud.
Overnight, an all-star tribute to the City of Angels.
Good enough for me, my baby.
Featuring rock legends.
Just like a white winged dove, sing the songs I like to sing it.
Reunions.
If it's real, well, I don't want to know. Don't speak, I know just what you see.
And surprise collaborations.
Keep on trying, 'cause the world beats you wrong.
All to help those who lost everything in the LA area wildfires. Legendary comedian Billy Crystal bringing laughter to the evening, but also a stark reminder, wearing the very clothes he had on when he escaped his home just before it burnt to the ground.
But everybody's been so supportive. This young girl, she must have been 20, came up to me and said she understood my pain because she had lost TikTok for a day.
California showing its love.
But guess what else I got?
For its first responders and firefighters.
What I keep hearing is this: we're not going anywhere. We will rebuild.
Like Pasadena firefighter Chen Yu, who was fighting the Eaton fire as it claimed its own home. We met him during SoCal Strong.
They took me off the rig just to get some relief, get some rest. I asked him, hey, can we please go by my house to see if it's still standing? So we came up, and it was gone.
The final count isn't in just yet, but a couple of highlights. The band U2 donated $1 million, and Steve and Connie Ballmer, who own the LA Clippers, vowed to match that and every other donation made during the telecast. I just got chills.
That's so great. So you got to get it in fast, right?
Yep.
They had a great idea. They had to make it
needed to
happen.
get that money in.
Because the award season now, LA gets a lot of positive attention now during this award season. The Grammys are just this weekend.
2 days away, Sam.
Really good news here is that there's much lighter winds headed into the weekend, so there's not that panic about what's going on in LA right now. We should say that the Grammys folks have told us as well that they really want this to be the right tone. There's no playbook for this, but they're really going to make it kind of an LA fire victims focused event, which is awesome.
Yeah, that is great.
And just bringing more attention to it, as it should be.
And more money.
No, and the firefighter Chin Yu, who we profiled that piece, we saw him, Robin and I, when we were in Altadena a few weeks ago. It's good to see him again, and he lost his home, as it said in that piece, but just goes to show the selflessness of all the firefighters out there. So.
Absolutely. And remember meeting him a couple weeks ago when you and Robin were there in Altadena as well. Something I want to say about you, Michael, a lot of people know how strong you are, but we're now getting to know how strong your daughter is, Isabella, and we'll be right back with more on that and her cancer journey.
Much tougher than me.
Good morning, America. It's 8 a.m. Heated confirmation hearings. 3 of President Trump's most controversial nominees grilled. Health Secretary pick Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Director of National Intelligence nominee Tulsi Gabbard, and FBI Director pick Kash Patel. The latest from Capitol Hill.
Ringing the bell. Why the end of my daughter Isabella's cancer treatment is just part of her journey, her decision to share her story, and what her long-term prognosis looks like as she goes back to school.
And we're counting down to the big game, revealing what's on the menu at the Superdome on Super Bowl Sunday and how you can make it at home. Plus, we're meeting the flyest second grade class in Philadelphia. As they say,
live from Times Square, it's Friday. Good morning, America.
Good morning, America. We're so excited to count down to the Super Bowl with those second graders. Well, that class in Philly sharpening their math skills with the help of Eagle Stats. They're telling us all about it this morning.
They are so cute. Hey there, Ika Jachi as well. 4 quarters makes a whole, guys.
Game.
Yep, a whole game. Also had the FDA, thanks Michael, I appreciated that. Also had the FDA approving the first new type of non-opioid painkiller in decades. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, has the latest.
First, look at the top stories breaking at 8. We start with the latest on the confirmation hearings for President Trump's nominees. Senior political correspondent Rachel Scott tracking it all in Capitol Hill. Good morning, Rachel.
George, good morning to you. And it was a marathon day of confirmation hearings right here on Capitol Hill. 3 of President Donald Trump's most controversial nominees facing tough questions, and not just from Democrats, from Republican senators, too.
Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Trump's pick for health secretary, facing tough questions from Republican Senator Bill Cassidy about his history spreading misinformation about vaccines.
Your past of undermining confidence in vaccines with unfounded or misleading arguments concerns me.
Cassidy, who is a doctor, repeatedly asked Kennedy to outright reject claims that 2 vaccines cause autism. Kennedy would not.
Senator, I am not going into the agency with any.
Well, that's kind of a yes or no question, because because the data is there, and that's kind of a yes or no. And I don't mean to cut you off, but that really is a yes or no.
If the data is there, I will absolutely do that.
Cassidy, a key Republican vote in the Senate, was not satisfied, making it clear by the end of the hearing he was, quote, struggling with the nomination. Across Capitol Hill, Tulsi Gabbard, Trump's nominee for Director of National Intelligence, defended her 2017 meeting in Syria with dictator Bashar al-Assad.
I have no love for Assad or Gaddafi or any dictator.
But the hearing turning heated about her past support of Edward Snowden, the former NSA contractor who leaked sensitive intelligence secrets.
Your answer, yes or no, is Edward Snowden a traitor to the United States of America?
As someone who has
I'll go on
worn
to
our
my
uniform
questions.
in combat, I understand how critical our national security
Apparently
is.
you don't.
Meanwhile, Kash Patel, nominated to lead the FBI, pressed on his own words that he wants to go after President Trump's political enemies. Patel tried to strike a different tone.
There will be no politicization at the FBI. There will be no retributive actions taken by any FBI should I be confirmed as the FBI director.
But in a rare move, he did split with President Trump on commuting the sentences of rioters who attacked officers on January 6th.
I do not agree with the commutation of any sentence of any individual who committed violence against law enforcement.
Yeah, that was a rare break from President Donald Trump. So any of these nominees can only afford to lose 3 Republican senators. And the question now is, were those moderate Republicans reassured and satisfied by what they heard during these confirmation hearings? And George, just one more thing that is breaking this morning. Sources tell us that multiple senior FBI officials have been given this ultimatum to either resign immediately, be demoted, or be fired. We are learning this morning from sources that many of these officials were promoted under the previous FBI director, Christopher Wray. But this is coming at a very striking time. It was just as Kash Patel was in these confirmation hearings, really trying to reassure senators that the FBI can remain independent and that he would not make good on any of his previous claims to go after President Donald Trump's political enemies, George.
Rachel Scott, thanks very much, Michael.
All right, thank you, George. Now to a GMA health alert. The FDA approving a groundbreaking new medication for the treatment of moderate to severe acute pain. Our chief medical correspondent, Dr. Tara Narula, is here to break it down for us, Doc. And Doctor, this medication is a big deal because the first non-opioid medication of its kind to be approved for pain management. So tell us all about it.
In 20 years. So that's a long time. So this is a oral pill that's prescribed. You take it twice a day for moderate to severe acute pain, as you mentioned, and it targets the pain receptors outside the brain to prevent that signal from getting to the brain. Because it doesn't work in the brain, it doesn't carry the addictive potential that opioids do, for example. So it's a very valuable tool that we're going to have in our arsenal here, and hopefully be able to give to patients and prevent that concern for addiction and overdose. We do think that it's relatively safe and effective. In the trials that they used to approve it, it had about a 50% reduction in pain in the patients who took it after surgery, and some side effects would be itching, rash, nausea, headache, things like that.
And who should consider taking it, and when will it be available?
Right. So this, again, is not meant for chronic pain. It's meant for moderate to severe acute pain. So patients who've had trauma, injury, post-surgical patients. We expect it to be the list price about $30 per day, although with insurance it may be less. And hopefully it should be on the shelves coming this month. We want to tell patients to talk to their doctor about what other meds they might be taking that could interact with it. But really, again, this is another tool. It opens the door to other drugs that work in the same capacity and hopefully really prevents patients with acute pain from progressing to chronic pain, which we know is so debilitating.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, thank you so much, Doctor. Appreciate that. Rebecca?
All right, thank you, Michael. Now we turn to skyrocketing egg prices and the search for savings. Consumer correspondent Becky Worley did the research, and she joins us now with where you can find the best deals. All right, lay it on us, Beck.
Oh boy. Yeah, the puns abound, but if you've been to a supermarket lately, Rebecca, you don't need me to tell you egg prices are through the roof, and this is due to the bird flu that's killed millions of chickens. The USDA says egg prices are up nearly 37% from a year ago. They're expected to rise another 20% this year. So to see if there were any savings shortcuts, I hit the road out here in Northern California. Now get this, the top price I found, $13.99, almost $14 for a dozen eggs. That was at an Asian grocery chain near me. My regional grocery chain had eggs for $7.65. I tried the gas station. The convenience store there had eggs for $6.59. But here's where things got really interesting. At the big national pharmacy chain near me that normally has milk, eggs, bacon, bare shelves, there were no eggs where they normally are. They were sold out. My local Costco was also completely sold out of eggs, as were 2 other Costcos I called. The employees did say they get eggs in the morning. They cost about $7.69 for 2 dozens. That's a good deal. Surprise finish to my egg extravaganza. The cheapest eggs I could actually purchase yesterday came from Whole Foods. $3.99 for a dozen of eggs and plenty of stock. So I'm just one person in California. Prices may vary, but the bottom line, Michael, Bolo Eggs. Be on the lookout for eggs and check their prices.
All right, that's an excellent report there. Thank you so much for that. Oh, that was such a bad dad joke. All right, thank you so much. We appreciate you. This morning, we are remembering Olympic figure skater Dick Button, who passed away at the age of 95. He was considered the most accomplished figure in men's skating. He won 2 Olympic gold medals, 5 world championships, plus an Emmy for his work as a sports analyst, spending many years here at ABC on shows like Wide World of Sports, one of my favorite shows of all time. Dick Button will be missed.
He was terrific.
Absolutely. Yeah. And coming up in our GMA morning menu, from ringing the bell to back to school, sharing my daughter Isabella's cancer fight, and what's ahead?
So powerful, Michael. Also ahead, Belinda Oakley and Chef Carmen Callow are here with New Orleans-inspired Super Bowl foods that you can make at home.
And Melissa Gilbert's going to join us live to talk about a return to the stage. And Lara and Sam upstairs with Tori.
Hi, yes, we're here. Sam,
toe separators,
yes.
Important.
Toe separators, glowing masks.
Yeah.
What is Deals and Steals? That's what's happening coming up.
To keep you cozy and looking your best. I don't know if you can see all of that. That's coming up.
Wish me luck.
It's coming up right here on GMA. We'll be right back. I'm over here. Over here.
And we are back with our GMA cover story. And Michael, your daughter Isabella has been sharing so much of her journey over the last year.
Yeah, she really has. She's documented her journey over the last year, as you said there, George. And just this past June, she rang the bell, and then she did what she needed to do. She returned to school and got away from me.
Got some visitors for last. Done with chemo. And we're gonna go ring the bell now. Ringing the bell was just so exciting. I was like, oh, I'm finally done. I think people sometimes confuse ringing the bell with like being cancer-free. Sometimes that's not the case for everyone.
You know, the next couple of years will be an anxious period every time we do scans for her and her family. In medical circles, as we call it, scanxiety.
There will not be a time when she's getting a scan where I won't be on pins and needles. I don't care if it's 10 years, 20 years, 30 years from now. You always be nervous. And I could tell she feels it too.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Yay! Hey vlog, so I have a new hairdo. Hey vlog. Who votes I should wear this back to college?
And then when the idea of a vlog came along,
I couldn't really find anyone who was my age with medulloblastoma. So I think it was good for me to like meet people also struggling, help people also struggling, and then gave me something to do, and it really just helped me document my own journey. It just kind of felt normal and natural just to wake up and be like, I feel awful. Like I feel like I really did not have a filter with my vlogs. Chemo essential, it doesn't get much better than this. I'm hooked up here, looking fab over here. Yes, I had no shame.
I'm so proud of her because she's going through it herself. And there were times when we're in the hospital or I know she's not feeling well, and she takes out her phone, she does her little vlog because she wanted people to see the real side of it. St. Jude freely shares our research and discoveries to help save kids with cancer everywhere. Doing those St. Jude ads and now, that helped me in a lot of ways deal with this. We do our PSA with these kids and we walk away feeling energized, encouraged, alive in the midst of what these kids are going through. I mean, just their spirit.
Day by day, I felt like I was getting more back to myself. Even though it wasn't an immediate change, over time it kind of accumulated to feeling better. Then we got the shoot and we did Town and Country. And it was amazing, the best experience. You spray your hairline on.
Yeah, sure do. What you call TV ready.
It's being able to go back to modeling, and taking photos was just something I enjoy. So it was great. I had like my really low buzzed looking haircut, and it was fun just to like kind of play dress up, because during the months of chemo, I was just wearing sweatpants and pajamas. So it was fun to be dressed up like a Barbie and take some fun photos.
Hold on. Yes.
Wait, that's like a prom photo now. From the Town and Country shoot, within the week, I was back in California. And then we get to my fabulous room. That's small, but it's homey. It's a big bed. It's a full, I'm pretty sure. Going back to college across the country, it's kind of, I think I was scared. I hadn't been left alone for probably more than a few hours.
Just in the bedroom.
Yeah, I'll take it.
All right. She kept her eye on the prize, and that was getting back to USC.
Kind of feels like I'm home, and I'm moving back, which is great. Yay!
Yay is right. Great way to end that piece. And but yeah, she's back at USC doing well, and happy to be out of the house with me. Less rules.
She loves her daddy.
Yeah, but it's great to see her back. And this is produced by ABC News Studios and my production company, Smack Entertainment. You can watch the primetime special, Life Interrupted: Isabella Strahan's Fight Against Cancer, on Wednesday, February 5th at 10 p.m. Eastern, right here on ABC, and the next day on Disney Plus and Hulu.
The way she shares her story with such an open heart, I think people are just really accepting this, and they want to see more. So you actually can, because before that, you stopped by to talk to our friend Sarah Haynes at The View yesterday. So we should tell people to watch The View as well today. I don't know. I mean, if you're a longtime GMA viewer, you know that Sarah is a part of our family too.
Yes.
Yeah. Long before she was a superstar at The View. Hi, Sarah.
We miss you, girl.
But it was great. It was great to go to The View and sit with Sarah and everybody. We had a good time yesterday.
Yeah.
They're funny.
And that airs today, right? I have no doubt. That airs today, right?
That airs today, 11 a.m.
All right, countdown to the Super Bowl, everyone, as the Chiefs and the Eagles prepare to face off in the Super Bowl. The rest of us are preparing for our game day meals.
Yeah, this is sports.
This is sports. This is our sport. 62,000 hungry fans, though, will head to New Orleans in just a few days, Sam.
Yeah, and it's the Eagles and the
Chiefs.
You
got it.
All right, we can reveal some of the GMA-approved menus, because we've been a tight secret until then, debuting at the Superdome. Sodexo Live CEO Belinda Oakley and executive chef Carmen Callo are here to give you the new items. Good morning, you guys.
Good morning.
Nice to have you.
Belinda, I want to start. What does the prep look like for a Super Bowl?
Oh, it's a lot of hard work, and this is our 16th Super Bowl, but it's also a lot of love, and we have a lot of love for the game. We have a game behind the game.
Yeah, you are.
We have 4,000 experience makers rallying in New Orleans next Sunday.
Experience makers meaning?
Our team members, because we think it's all about the experience. We do food, but why shouldn't you feel New Orleans while you're in the Dome?
Yeah, and you've done that. You've done like a little bit of a twist. Spicy seafood, I understand, Carmen?
Absolutely. I'll start you off. We've got this amazing, nachos are a game day favorite, but in Louisiana, it's a Super Bowl. We kicked them up a notch. We've got a Louisiana crawfish queso. We've got some blackened Gulf shrimp. We're finishing that with a fresh guacamole and some pico de gallo.
Is this Super Bowl ready?
It's amazing.
Super Bowl ready? And then I understand you're doing a classic New Orleans sandwich.
Absolutely.
With a little Super Bowl spin.
Well, it's the iconic muffaletta. So we've got layers of provolone, salami, ham, mortadella, but it's really all about that briny olive salad, some green olives, Kalamata olives.
You had Sam at briny.
You had me at briny. I swear you do. As a matter of fact, I might just eat the whole thing. Go ahead.
And then give us one more. We only have a few seconds, but tell us about this sandwich, because
well,
this is New Orleans.
This is our Super Bowl special. So it's Super Bowl 59. This is our poor boy. It's 5 Gulf shrimp and a 9-hour braised and smoked short rib, a little remoulade or mornay sauce on a Leidenheimer roll. And when you get these recipes, we give you extra online, delicious recipes and desserts as well. Sodexo Live, how great are you? See our website.
Yeah, it's all there. Right now, though, Rebecca, we're going to head to you, and we promise to save some.
Oh, I can't wait. Please do. Thank you. You know me so well, Lara. It is time now for Deals and Steals. This week, Tori Johnson is showing us some incredible winter warm-up products. Welcome, Tori.
Elemis.
I love this. This is the best skincare. We love
favorite.
it. Yes.
Two of the products I love. These dynamic resurfacing facial pads. Little tiny thing like this. You can use it once or twice a day. Really great. Just swiped across your face. What I love for me personally is that it really helps with evening out skin texture. So my makeup goes on smoother. My skin looks better. And this is I credit this. We've got the whole Pro Collagen collection and so many sets this time, including my favorite, the cleansing balm. You guys get it on it, all 50% off and free shipping today from Elemis.
Wonderful. Okay.
LED Aesthetics.
Tell me more.
Okay, so face mask. This one's for the neck. Obviously, you can use either
the neck.
Yep, neck and chest. That's an often neglected area. So if you can use either one. The key with this for results is consistency. You can do 10, 20-minute treatments each day, depending on your preferences. But again, consistency, if you keep it up within as little as 3 weeks, you will see results. It helps with everything from glowing face, acne, all kind of the things that you want, your fine lines and wrinkles. This is going to help. All 50% off today from LED Aesthetics. Plus, we have their skincare
Pop
too.
it on while you're doing a chore.
Exactly.
I don't know, anything.
That's right. Homeworks.
Yes.
Some of the best candles. Sal has predicted that this one right here, Blueberry Cheesecake, is going to be the #1 seller. That's the one that he's chosen. But no matter what you choose, you can't go wrong with Homeworks. It's very sweet scent.
You can't eat it, sadly.
Sorry, you can't eat it. The Valencia Orange is my favorite. The Peach soaps, fabulous. Everything from this line you guys know and love. It fills the room. Up to 66% off today. Starts $12 to $18 for the whole collection.
We love it.
All right, you want to turn?
Yes,
if
please.
you want to turn your shower into a spa to start your day with just a little zen. These they pop into shower steamers, pop into this little sachet.
Oh, nice.
Then the steam from the shower is going to make that whole scent fill the bathroom. The scents are phenomenal on these. They're also great if you've got any kind of sinus congestion. It's going to help clear that up if you get the eucalyptus ones. All 50% off today. These are a winner.
I just cleared them already, my sinuses.
Another
just from
winner. I think we have a supermodel coming in. New from Petit Couture. We have seen their pedicure slippers.
Wait, can you get my
These
feet?
have
Very
toe
well matched.
separators.
Yes, I have on toe separators right now,
The toe separators
Sam.
are built in. These are for inside. They are so comfortable.
Hello,
I've
America.
been testing them for 3 months. You guys
Enjoy
get
your
it on
breakfast,
it.
America.
If you can even hear what I'm saying, they're $20 today. Grab them. And then last but not least, you've got Sam out.
I'm not coming out of this. This
the
is
comfy,
fantastic.
the wearable blanket. You can look as chic as Sam, whether you are sitting on the couch or coming to work. The comfy is phenomenal. We've got kids and adults options, all 50% off. They start at $21.50.
You're from a galaxy.
I'm from a galaxy far,
And
far
guys,
away.
we've partnered with all these companies. You can get them on our website, and you can also get them at that QR code. And there's bonus deals. You just scan it, and we've got a lot
These
more
two
coming
are the
up
bonus.
with some really cute kids. Not these two, other ones.
Welcome back to GMA, live from Times Square.
Little rain here in New York this morning. We're counting down to Super Bowl 59 between the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. This morning we are in Philly, where a second grade teacher is using football to help her students score big in math. Ike Ajachi's at the school. Hey, Ike.
Good morning. Listen, for a lot of students, the word math, well, it's not really that much fun. But here at Mass Community Charter School 2, second grade teacher Amber Kiley, well, she's creating some touchdowns in her class with a little help from the Philadelphia Eagles. Take a look.
What place value is the 3 in?
100. Amber Kiley's second grade class is taking math to the end zone, scoring big with Eagles stats.
This is actually my first year being a teacher. I knew coming into my first year I wanted to do something special and something different, so I decided, let's run with the Eagles. How did we get to learning about the thousands place value? Camille?
By Saquon Barkley.
Right, by his rushing yards.
The class taking inspiration from their hometown football team, the Philadelphia Eagles, even going as far as counting rushing statistics held by Eagles running back Saquon Barkley.
108 yards, 255 yards. I decided we'll start tracking his rushing yards, and I didn't know how they were going to take it, but they loved it. What number are we adding, Olivia?
205.
The students embracing the football-inspired lesson as they learn place values.
What place value is the 3 in? 100. The 2?
1,000.
Even watching football highlights as part of the curriculum.
The Eagle spirit runs high at this school.
Even beyond the sports part of it, it's fostering that nice community environment here. We tie our football into our community, so they are learning about the community around us. What else have you learned from the players on the team?
To be kind. Don't be selfish.
To not be selfish, right? They've learned to never give up. They've learned to work as a team. They've learned that things get tough and it's not always going to go your way.
But one thing's for certain. Who's going to win the Super Bowl?
Hey guys, we are back here with Miss Amber Kiley and her amazing second grade class. And take a look, they're all decked out in their phenomenal Eagles gear. Guys, how are we doing today? Yeah, there we go, there we go. Now, Miss Kiley, we know this is your first year teaching, but you are already setting the bar at a massive level. We know that these little kids right here, they are math superstars, and we want to see them at work. We have a wonderful student here, Benjamin, who's going to show us exactly the skills that he learned. So, you guys take it away.
Awesome, thank you, Ike. All right, Ben, are you ready? Yeah. Let's show off what we've been learning in class. So, can you take a step to the side? 1 plus 9.
10.
What do I do with that 0?
Put it down in the ones.
Awesome. And what do I do with that 1?
Put it up in the tens.
Up in the tens, great. What is 1 plus the 1 that we had to carry?
2.
Good job. So 11 plus 9
equals 20.
Thank you, great job.
Let's go, guys. Benjamin, let's give it up to him, right? How about that? Listen, guys, that was so good, okay? And our friends at Fanatics, they also thought that was pretty good, too. And they love how much you guys love the Eagles. So they actually got a little gift for everybody here. You guys want to see it?
Yeah.
Our friends at Fanatics are making sure that all of you are decked out in your very own special Eagles t-shirt for game day. How you guys feel about that? Yeah, take this. This is for you. Now, we have Miss Boone here. She's another teacher at the school. She's actually doing a little double duty today because you are also a Philadelphia Eagles cheerleader.
Yes.
And she's on her way to New Orleans soon. So I got to ask you, second time for you actually going to the Super Bowl.
Yes.
How does it feel that you're back in this location again?
Oh
and
my
back
gosh.
in this situation?
I am so excited. You know, the team has obviously been preparing and hoping for this all season long, but so have our students. They've been hoping for a Super Bowl. So I'm really excited that not only do I get to represent Philadelphia and the Eagles, but I'm representing all of our students here at Mass too.
These wonderful students. Guys, we got to thank Fanatics. We got to thank Mass Community Charter School 2. We got to thank these awesome students and Miss Kiley here. And I got one more thing. Can I get a little Eagles chant?
Oh yeah, ready? Let's do it. E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles!
We got some wonderful students here, guys, and they are ready for the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Back to you guys.
Good at spelling, too. Now with Emmy award-winning actress and our friend Melissa Gilbert, she won us over back in Little House on the Prairie. I mean, near and dear to our hearts.
Yep.
9 years old is when you started on that show. Now she's starring in the funny and heart-wrenching off-Broadway show Still, and joins us live this morning. Thank you for coming in.
Thanks for having me. Good morning.
I know this is not your first time doing theater.
No.
And I know how much you love it. What is different about this experience with Still?
Oh, there's so much. This story is so timely and perfect for right now. It's about a couple who were together 30 years ago, but now have reconnected and are kind of beginning a new romance. And then throughout the course of the play, they find out that they're on political polar opposite sides.
Oh, that's interesting.
And so the question is love enough
to
enable communication on a micro level, which is a reflection of the macro of what's going on
That must be
today.
fun to do, because it
It's
sounds a little
fun.
combative and also
It's
very
sexy.
deep.
Also, there's a whole other element to it that just because you're over 60 doesn't mean you're dead. You can still have a really vital, vibrant,
Melissa Gilbert.
sexy,
Amen.
juicy love life.
Yeah.
Why not?
I love it.
Yeah.
So, we have a fondness for you on Little House on the Prairie.
So
I do
much.
because
I just
it was,
feel like we're friends.
It
We
was
grew up together.
right. It was my time, and let's say I had a friend that I called Nellie Olson, but I would never say her
my
name.
gosh,
I
I
would
can't-
never say her name here.
You are not doing that.
But let's talk about.
No!
Let's talk about your lifestyle
You know, they
brand,
say
Modern Prairie.
in a world full of Nellies, be a Laura.
So
look, I look like her.
which is how the name got. Anyway, let's talk about Modern Prairie, because I feel like you launched it here. I feel like you came in and talked about launching it here.
And it's been 2 years. This last year, the business has grown like 500%. And I think it's remarkable. The growth has been remarkable, but the emotional component of this community of women over 50 that have banded together and bonded together to support each other through all of these things we're going through in life is amazing. And we have the app, and it's remarkable because these women are from all over the world, primarily from America. There's no politics, there's no backbiting, there's none of the vitriol. We just stay away, love each other, support each other. Yeah. It feels like an example of what the world should be to me.
It also sounds like Little House on the Prairie. And just a very pure, wonderful show that left you feeling good, which is what your products aim to do.
It's about loving one another, bottom line, regardless of anything. Acceptance, love, and understanding.
I loved when I heard that Netflix is rebooting it.
It's interesting, isn't it? There have been a lot of feels out there in the social media sphere.
It feels both good and bad. Like
good
don't
and
touch
bad.
It because it's so
you know
perfect.
what? Anything that works for the Little House legacy floats all the boats. So I'm happy with that. And you know, I'm now working with Michael Landon Jr. on When Calls the Heart.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Which is such a
my prom date is now my boss. My life is weird.
Wait, is that real? He was your prom date?
Yeah.
On the show.
That is so funny.
In real life. In real
life, they were prom dates. So when you look back at that experience, can you see why Little House on the Prairie still resonates so deeply?
Again, this all ties into the Modern Prairie thing ethos too. I think because it's about love, community, understanding, acceptance, and all the good, wonderful things. And it's a very impactful show. It still has tremendous meaning. It just got an award for being the #1 streaming series,
which is why it's
compared to all the new stuff.
Yeah.
So
congratulations on
so
everything.
Thank
I'm
you.
so excited about Still and your line, and just always happy to have you here.
Oh, it's a joy.
And we love Nellie Olson.
We do.
We do. You have to love her.
I love both of you. This is a great morning for
Wait,
me.
I'm not
All
Nellie
right, Still
Olson.
is playing through March 23rd at the Sheen Center for Thought and Culture.
Every Friday, these guys amuse each other.
Throughout the entire show.
We'll behave, George.
Yeah,
sorry,
Just saying.
Behave.
Yes, sir.
Those second graders with Ike were doing better than you two. All right, now it's our countdown to the big game. Super Bowl 59 is just 9 days away. And while fans are eager to see their favorite players take the field, this morning we're taking a look at some other important team members who work their magic on the sidelines. Behind every great play, touchdown, is a team of medical professionals watching their every move. From orthopedists to physical therapists, athletic trainers to nutritionists, these health professionals have one job: to take care of these athletes.
We're going A-skip.
And through a new NFL program, they're hoping to inspire the next generation of sports medicine professionals entering the field. Like medical student Dave DeLima, who immigrated to the United States from Haiti when he was just 16 years old.
I feel like sometimes I'm asking somebody to pinch me to wake up from the dream, because not many people get opportunities like this, let alone a person like me who come from Port-au-Prince, Haiti.
And that's exactly why the NFL Diversity in Sports Medicine Pipeline Initiative was created, to give medical students from diverse backgrounds the chance to shadow NFL medical teams across all 32 clubs. Its goal is to diversify the field of sports medicine through months-long rotations. Over the last century, medical professionals like Dr. Mark Galloway, head orthopedist for the Cincinnati Bengals, have noticed a stark disparity. Orthopedic Journal of Sports Medicine said 84.5% of physicians across American professional sports teams identify as white, while over 50% of the participants in the sport identify as black. How important is it for these medical teams to look more like the players that they're helping?
It's important to have providers who share your life experiences and who can relate to you and who understand where you're coming from, so that when you're treating an athlete, you can treat them on their terms.
Changing the field is what inspires students like Reagan Burgess.
Women are very underrepresented in medicine as a whole. In orthopedics, Black women make up less than 1% of the orthopedic surgeons in the country. This opportunity allowed me just an extra little glimpse of what my life could be like and what I could expect if I chose to go down the path of sports medicine.
And she's now an orthopedic resident.
Yes.
How does that make you feel to see her go on?
She's going to do great things. She's going to inspire other people to follow in her footsteps.
And in her footsteps follow over 70 students from diverse backgrounds who have completed rotation since the program was founded in 2022.
The support and the mentorship that I receive here, I don't think anywhere else it would have been possible. We have people who goes through the same thing that you've been through. I think that pushes you a lot more.
Biggest piece of advice, just be yourself.
Not many people get opportunities like this. So what I learned here, I can provide help not only in this country for the underserved communities, but also back home.
Years from now, when you look across NFL medical staffs, what do you hope to see?
I hope to see a medical staff that is comparable in their makeup to the players. That's what I would hope to see.
You don't necessarily know that you can do something until you see someone that looks like you that can do it. So I hope that from my story, they're able to realize that they're valued and that they're needed and they can be successful in whatever they want to do.
And on a day we shot with Dave, he was juggling several interviews for his residency. We want to wish him a lot of luck. And coming up, Joy Fatone and the cast of the hit Broadway musical and Juliet perform a special mashup only on GMA.
Welcome back to GMA. You are going to want to see this. We're back with some great news for NSYNC and Broadway fans because Joey Fatone is back on Broadway. Now he's starring in a hip-hop musical and Juliet.
And Juliet is also on a national tour. Joey, co-star Drew Gelling, and the cast, they came to our studio. They did this amazing mashup, a boy band mashup. They did it only for us.
Right, you ready? That makes you larger than life.
Oh, no. I went like that.
I may run and hide when you're screaming my name, alright. But let me tell you now, there are prices to fame, alright. So good to be here. Good morning, America. All of our time spent in flashes of light. Oh, you people, can't you see how your love's affecting our reality? Every time we're down, you can make it right, and that makes you larger. Yeah. You might have been hurt, babe, that ain't no lie. Seen them all come and go. Oh, I remember you told me that it made you believe in no man, no crime. Baby, that's why every little thing I do never seems enough for you. You don't wanna lose it again, but I'm not like them. Baby, when you finally get to love somebody, guess what? It's gonna be me. Everybody, rock your body. Everybody, rock your body right. The boy band's back, alright. Alright. Oh my God, we're back again. Brothers, sisters, everybody say, gonna bring the flavor, show you how. Got a question for you, better answer now. Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now, everybody. Yeah. Rock your body. Yeah. just don't care. If you wanna party, let me hear you yell. 'Cause we got it going on again. Yeah, yeah. Everybody, rock your body. Everybody rock your body. Rock your body, rock your body, rock. Band's back, all right.
GMA and Gronk, what a combination.
Yes.
A big thank you to Joey Fatone and the cast of And Juliet for that great performance. Have a great weekend.